All right.
We are allergic reaction free today.
GamePunx, now allergy free. Welcome to GamePunx. My name is Ryan.
The most hypoallergenic podcast on the internet. My name's Ben.
Yeah, it's been a wild couple of fucking days for us, but we were supposed to record on Friday, and literally like not even a half an hour before.
What was it? It was pineapple, right?
No. I'm not allergic to any fruit. It was coconut.
Oh,
well,
coconut.
I guess coconut is a fruit.
Yeah, well,
I guess.
It's a nut.
It was. I ate something.
I think it's a nut.
Presumably had coconut. Well, it's a fruit, but it's called a nut.
I don't like
but
that.
I ate something that had coconut in it, and it put me out of commission for
like
a fucking whole evening. Yeah. Holy shit. And I was stupid enough to have drank like a whole beer before taking the Benadryl.
Oh god, so you got double knocked out.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know if you've ever mixed Benadryl with alcohol.
Oh, bud.
It's like the worst high you've ever had.
Yeah.
It reminded me of, like, if you've ever had an uncomfortable or disconcerting high, which I'm sure anybody who has ever indulged has.
Yeah.
Then
that like,
you know that feeling
that
where you're kind of
high.
slightly
where you're like,
where
oh,
you're
this
like
shit ain't
vibrating
shit.
out of your skin a little bit.
Yeah.
That's how it felt.
Yeah.
Just slightly vibrating out of my flesh.
I
and then my
like
hands
those ones, but
being
I can
itchy as hell.
understand. I can understand.
Well, here's the thing. Combine that
with the allergic reaction.
with like a horrible stomach ache and the discomfort of having your throat close. It was bad. It sucked.
Glad you didn't die.
There was a point in which I was just like, I think I might have to fucking go to the hospital. Thankfully, it subsided, but I was like ill until like the next day.
Yeesh.
So, needless to say, Benadryl and alcohol don't mix, and that's some of the best advice you could ever get from our gaming podcast.
And that's how God plated Ryan this week.
Holy shit. And how did God plate you, Ben?
He gave me bedbugs somehow during a quarantine in which most of the time I spent at my house. I spent many years living in punk houses and going to punk shows, but this is the one that I spend most of my time not talking or seeing anybody. This is the one I got bedbugs. And it's pretty early, so I think it'll get nipped in the butt pretty quick. But I have been mentally fighting my mental mind goblins all day to not just take everything I own and leave it on the curb and curl myself in a ball, which wouldn't really solve anything because there's probably some like hiding in corners that I can't really reach.
Probably, yes.
So I would have to throw out all my clothes and be a naked crying man in my bathtub. Yeah, probably I'd be in the shower, curled up in a ball, crying.
Needless to say, don't question our punk cred. We get bedbugs.
Yeah, I got bedbugs. That's how you know this shit is true.
When we say we're GamePunx, we mean it.
Yeah, no, but like I said, I think it was because I think we talked about it last week when my toilet broke. I'm pretty sure we talked about that on the podcast. Yeah, my toilet broke. I'm pretty sure that the neighboring, the lady who lives under me, maybe allegedly doesn't have the cleanest or most sanitary apartment, and I think they went down there and cleaned up a bit of the water mess, and maybe when they came back up to fix my toilet, they brought that because that's the only thing that makes sense. Other than that, I have absolutely, because I bike everywhere too. It's not like I'm taking public transit. I don't like. I'm mind boggled as to how this happened, but it did.
It's the only way it could have happened. As if
so.
Somebody had. Fucking ridiculous.
I spent an hour and a half of my morning with my mattresses flipped up like a little fort, looking for bedbugs and burning them with a lighter. I got 9 of them.
God. Oh, that's pretty good, but that's still a pain in the ass.
Yeah. The pain in the ass was me going, okay, that's probably good, and then seeing like one of the baby tiny ones that are like almost microscopic crawling across, and like I burnt it, but I was like, oh, that means there's more.
The real pain in the ass is going to be when you find that a bug has bitten you on the ass.
Oh no, that's already happened. I have like 3 on my ass.
Oh Jesus!
I've been marking them all with Sharpie, just to kind of keep track. So I don't, because I've been also paranoid and just being like, is that one new? Is that one of the old ones? The fuck's happening? Am I getting bitten right now? So like to fight the mind goblins and the lack of memory that I have because of the ADHD.
Well,
I'm covered in Sharpie right now, so that'll be fun to see on my stream later. I might just axe the camera bit for tonight, but we'll see. It's not too bad.
But,
it's only on my... I've got like 3 marks on my arms. Most of it's
I
like
mean,
really on my
bedbugs is
hip.
bedbugs. It's
Yeah.
not fun regardless of whether or not it's severe.
Yeah.
Like, that shit has happened to many a person I know, and they have never had a good time.
In short, fuck 2020.
Yeah. I just can't believe that literally the one time that you've gotten bedbugs was not when you were like living at Fatale.
Yeah. Like the time I probably was at highest risk was at the Days and Days show.
Oh my god.
And that wasn't even the one.
The amount of times
at
I
least
saw
that
it,
one I would have been
whoa.
like, oh, that makes sense. Right? Like I would have been like, oh yeah, I hung out with like the band and everyone at that show, and we all hugged and moshed and had like whatever.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, stay the fuck away from me. I have a mask on. Don't talk to me. Like, ugh.
Oh, that's somebody's calling my telephone in my room. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
That's fucking. I'll cut out the sound of that.
Yeah.
But needless to say, yeah, it's kind of shocking. But
And then in
it's
video
been
game news, there's been some wild ass shit too. But we'll get there.
Holy
We'll get
crap!
there.
Yeah. Before we get into that, let's go through our weeks quickly. I had a quick. Apart from dying of an allergic reaction, for
Real quick, I just want to
fucking
say
6 hours.
I did not expect Orwell to be in the video game news sphere this much this week.
Nor did I. That is we'll talk about
Yeah.
that. It's been an interesting week for video game news, that's for certain. There's honestly the last 3 weeks have been such like a dirge of video game news.
Oh, not in the
on
fight.
all
yeah,
manners.
last 3 weeks, yeah.
Yeah,
Eh.
all manners of news. It's been kind of nuts.
Yeah.
And not just in release news, but in like things happening news.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh boy. So yeah, we needless to say we have shit to talk about.
Yeah.
What have I been playing this week? I have been playing, I guess coming off of our Mega Man episode of Touch Generation, I started replaying Mega Man Zero.
Hell yeah.
Because I got the Mega Man ZX and Zero collection on Switch, so
As you do.
I finished playing through all the Zero games, but it just reminded me how much I really, really like Mega Man 0, 3, and 4. I think those are maybe my 2 favorite handheld Mega Man games.
Mm-hmm.
Just simply because they're brisk, they're pretty difficult games. Both of them are very difficult, but yeah, they're also pretty briskly paced, and the narrative between the two of them is just like a nice kind of shared narrative. Whereas like in Mega Man 0-3, you're kind of it's built off a lot of like 0-2's mechanics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you're coming off of like a storyline in which like one of your allies ended up becoming the main antagonist of the second game. So now it's like the person who was manipulating him is Dr. Weil, and now Dr. Weil's who you're fighting against. But I like that 0-3 goes out of its way to introduce Dr. Weil and really elaborate on what his deal is.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, they never like allow you to fight him. Like he's always this untouchable kind of like completely.
Oh yeah, the forever boss.
Exactly. Like you never fight him in the game. He makes a bunch of appearances and he's manipulating events throughout the whole game, but you never fight him. And then in 0-4, you have basically begun evacuating humans from like the city of Neo Arcadia, which is where all of the humans were living, and that's the city that's like the main setting of the first 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all the humans are being evacuated now, and like they're going out to live in this place called Area Zero, which is where the space colony Eurasia from Mega Man X5 crashed.
Yeah.
At the end of that game. So they're going to this place that's kind of like this new Eden. But the premise of 4, and what I really think is cool about 4, is like, okay, now you're out of Neo Arcadia. You're not going into these areas of Neo Arcadia and of Neo Arcadian influence and like cleansing them of like the damaging, harmful like Reploids that are there.
Yeah.
Instead, you're basically going around this whole kind of area outside of Neo Arcadia, and the bosses are like basically going into the outside world to ruin it, so that the only place humans have to go is Neo Arcadia, which is pretty that's fucked up to me. Like they're literally going out and like ruining the environment, poisoning like the earth, and like destroying shit, accelerating like solar energy, reactivating old weapons and shit like that. Just like doing the most damaging shit to the environment possible to make anywhere outside of Neo Arcadia harmful to humans. And so you're going out there and you're taking care of all these Reploids, and you're kind of staying with this human resistance who they don't want to stay in Neo Arcadia, but they also don't trust Zero, because in the first game, Zero kills the copy X that's like the leader of Neo Arcadia.
Oh,
and so they don't trust Zero because they're like, you fucking killed like our leader, the only Reploid who like ever treated us good, dude. Yeah, they're like, you fucking killed our leader, so you're just like there, you're like, yeah, but Dr. Wile's gonna kill you. He wants to like destroy all of y'all. And he's like, yeah, we don't need your fucking help.
Yeah,
dude.
go fuck yourself.
So there's like that interesting dynamic. Like you're fighting for people who don't want you to fight for them.
Yeah, which I think is like it's a very recurring thing, especially in futuristic sci-fi shit.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like like fighting or helping a people that don't necessarily want your help, but fighting for them regardless.
Yeah,
because it's the right thing to do. But yeah, it's really, really great. Yeah, so 04 is really fun. I beat it the other day. I really like the bosses in that game, and I like that they replaced like the tertiary weapons of the previous games with an ability called the Z-Knuckle, which basically just lets you steal a weapon from an enemy.
Okay, so you're Kirby.
Which is really cool. Yeah, basically, yeah. Like you touch any enemy with the Z-Knuckle, and if you kill them with it, it gives you their ability.
Nice.
So you always have like a cool secondary thing on call. Sometimes they have ammo, and sometimes they don't.
Yeah, but do you have to...
the variety is nuts. How many weapons you can get.
Like the Z-Knuckle isn't an insta-kill, right? You have to
it's
be
not.
strategic about it?
You have to, like maybe slash them a couple times with your sword or Z-Buster, then hit them with the knuckle. And then you get the weapon, which is cool, because if you destroy them, you don't get the weapon.
See, I haven't played
so cool.
any of the Z stuff.
Oh, that game is really great. And then, yeah, when you get the Zero Knuckle, you get like... I got this one thing, it's like a spear that's a drill and the drill tip is an explosive. So it gives you range and it gives you a huge amount of damage. Any enemy you hit with it is an instant kill, but you have it for 6 shots.
Okay.
Yeah. If you miss with it, you don't consume a shot.
Oh.
So you get 6 guaranteed instant kills with it.
That's a good
which
trade-off.
Is very helpful.
Does it I assume it's not instant kill on boss though.
No, like of course 25? Not. And enemies will always, but it will do a great amount of damage, especially on the mini bosses.
Yeah, that's what I was at. Like 25%, would you say, for a normal boss, or
less?
Okay, 10.
Less than closer to like a 10%.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But that's still more than like the 2 or 3 chicks of health that like a sword slash.
That way, yeah, because I was gonna say that's super abusable then if you just save them all for the boss fight.
Well, that's the thing. You can't save them.
Oh.
You can't put the Zero Knuckle away with the weapon on hand and like store the weapon for later use, really. Like it's meant to be used in the moment, and there's a lot of like contextual things in the environment that sometimes require you to take a Zero Knuckle. Like say there'll be some vines and there's an enemy nearby that has like an ability that is like a firebomb. You take that and you burn away the vines, like shit like that. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's really, really interesting.
That makes super sense, because I was like, that
and
sounds
it's so fun.
Busted.
No. It's not as busted as it could be. And some weapons are just like, it's a big honking axe and you can use it whenever.
Yeah.
Like it's just an infinite use weapon. But the drawback for it will be like it's got like a slow arc and it only arcs downwards. Like shit like that. But it's powerful, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a really cool ability, and it's an interesting kind of reinterpretation of the Mega Man stealing an enemy's weapon thing.
Yeah.
But you're doing it to just regular grunt enemies.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And then every boss gives you an ability called an EX skill, which is a sword or it's like a sword skill or like a buster skill, and it'll usually just be an elementally charged attack. But like say there's a boss called Minnow Magnus, and he's a big minotaur with an axe, and he's electric themed. He's like a big magnet minotaur. When you get his EX skill, it's called Magnet Shot, and what it does is it gives you like a little thing where if you charge your buster but don't fire it off, it creates this little magnetic pinpoint at the end of your Zero Buster that allows you to absorb and like absorb shots that are coming towards you.
Yeah.
which is really cool. So it doesn't do it with every kind of shot, like not with missiles, but with beam weapons, like little buster shots. It'll mostly do that.
Nice.
So it's a pretty cool game. I really like 04. It's like, I don't know. It's the game in the series for me that hits the hardest because like it's the final game. There's a great sense of kind of apocalyptic finality to like the final like 25% of it too. Like the game is pretty like you could squarely separate it into quarters, and the final quarter of that game is like it's really fun. It's difficult. Some of the platforming gets really hard.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of death traps as you would expect from like a Mega Man game, but like regardless, so good, so cool, so fun. Like I love 04. I love that series. So now I'm gonna go and play the ZX games again, which is great. But I was happy to replay all the Zero games, but especially 0, 3, and 4. And then the other game I've been playing was Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I finished Xenoblade Chronicles 2 like the day we recorded last. Like I finished it the same day we finished recording. I think I said in the last episode I'm about to beat the final boss.
Yeah.
Well, I went and I did that. So that was really fun. I liked the ending of that game. I don't really want to give it away, but I think it didn't hit me as hard as Xenoblade Chronicles 1. Nothing about this game hit me quite as hard.
Yeah, you were
but
saying that last time too.
I really grew to love the characters by the end of it. And,
which is one of the most important parts of long JRPGs and shit. Like,
exactly. Like I was super invested in the characters, and I was really like, even in the antagonists, fairly three-dimensional characters with a lot of like inner motivations and like hidden like personal drives, making them do what they do and like driving their ideology. And I'm like, this is very cool. And I think these villains are interesting and intelligent.
We love good character development on this show.
Similarly to the first Xenoblade Chronicles, which also has a fairly interesting and intelligent like villain with like his own clever and like deep-seated, even like sympathetic motivations.
Yeah.
So it seems like this is something that is characterizing the series now, which I'm like, okay, this is a great trend. I hope if Xenoblade Chronicles 3 comes out that the villain follows suit. So yeah, I beat Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I loved it. Now I'm playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna The Golden Country, which is like it's a game that you can buy individually on the Switch store, but it is effectively a DLC pack for the game. And it's like an entire miniature Xenoblade Chronicles game built off of like the backbone of 2's combat mechanics and gameplay. Kind of like what the extra chapter of Xenoblade 1 at the end of the new version of Xenoblade is. But I'd say it's even more complete than that extra chapter of Xenoblade 1 is, because it almost feels like fully its own game. It's set 500 years in the past, and you're playing as all of these characters that you've met like in the contemporary point in which you play 2. But because these blades don't retain memories from their previous lives, you're meeting them at all this like earlier point in their history. They have a different kind of interactions and relationships with one another, and you're getting to see like a lot of things that end up making some of these characters go bad, that end up keeping them good, and vice versa. It's really, really fun. I'm enjoying it so far. I like that the combat has changed just a little bit in that instead of you playing as a driver with 3 blades, and the blades are your weapons and the driver is effectively your customizable health bar, the way that this works is that each character in your team of characters, like each driver and blades, you play as the blades individually instead of the driver wielding the blade.
Oh. Okay,
which is really different.
Can you elaborate on customizable health bar?
Yeah, okay, so in the standard version of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the character that you play as, the only thing that you really need to worry about them stat-wise is health.
Okay.
Because all of your attack power and all of your weapons and everything come from the blades you equip them with. Mm-hmm. So the character you play as, you're not really playing as that character using their own attack power. You're really playing as that character using the blade.
Okay, yeah.
And the blades are your weapons, and they're like the part of the game that matters most mechanically when it comes to combat. In this game, basically, in Torna The Golden Country, I should say, the way that everything is organized is you have a character that's called they're basically the attacker, and there's 2 support characters. And you can swap between them in battle, but the two support characters have a different set of abilities from the ones that they would have if you put them in the frontal position.
Oh,
and
okay. So,
it's really, really different and interesting, but they've got separate ability trees and separate customizable moves depending on the position you put them in.
So that's kind of a Darkest Dungeon thing too. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, but okay.
That
makes
you
sense.
play directly as the blades as opposed to playing as the character wielding the blade.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And which means like playing as the character gives that character a little more agency within the combat contextually, because they're actually physically fighting with their own strength and they have to be strong. And the blades play a support role in combat or are the primary person in the fight, and the driver is the support player. But it changes up the dynamic, and it's an interesting world building bit, because it's like established that the character that you're playing as is like the first character who is a driver within like the history of this universe that was like sharing the burden of combat with their blades by wielding the blades weapon, which becomes standard practice by the time of the actual game, like by the time of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 proper.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty interesting kind of take on the combat of the previous game. It makes it feel very different. It doesn't make you feel like you're just playing like a DLC pack for the game. It does feel like its own little new game. So I really enjoy Torna so far, and the story is quite good too. The main characters of Torna are Laura and Jin, who are like Jin is an antagonist in Xenoblade 2. He is like one of the two primary antagonists. Yeah. And Laura is like this character whose legacy casts like a huge shadow across the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 story, especially with regards to her relationship with Jin. So like her entire, like whatever happens to her in Torna directly relates to Jin becoming evil or becoming lost, and because he's not really evil, like I said, he's just kind of a character who's lost his way and has decided that the only way that he can fix anything or resolve anything is through like apocalyptic destruction and following the whims of Malos, who is like a purely chaotic being who simply wishes for destruction.
Assuming that someone has Mal in their name, they're probably evil.
Exactly. I mean, Mal, he's bad.
Yeah.
C'est mal. C'est mal. C'est fucking mal. But yeah, so Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna is really, really fun. I can't wait to get through it, but that's pretty much everything that I played so far. But it's been a good week for games.
Amazing.
I mean, I really liked everything I played.
Good.
It's been pretty good.
Good shit.
What about you?
All right. What do I start with? Because I played a lot of shit. I have played a lot of shit.
Well, you've been playing more Fantasy Strike.
No, I actually haven't touched it, I think, since the last podcast. I kind of dropped it.
No way.
I think I hit my limit on that game. It's a very good game. It's super fun. Next update, I'm definitely going to pick it back up, for sure. Next new characters or whatever. But for the moment, I kind of fell off. I was like, I don't know. It's one of those fighting game things where I was like, I like this fighting game. It's good. It's not what I want to be playing right now. I guess in that, what I do want to be playing, I'll get into the fighting game stuff. I'll save the single player stuff a little later. Is Dragon Ball Fighterz. I had a back inning.
Oh,
where
we back in.
Netcode be damned.
Has the netcode improved since you left?
Oh God, no. No, not even a little bit. Some things have.
I mean,
improved.
it can't even be half as bad as Street Fighter V's, but I don't imagine it's great either.
That's a hard call. It's different. Because it's a hyper fighter, right? So it's less apparent. I don't even know. I don't know. It's not great. I'd say it's probably about the same level as Street Fighter V. Honestly.
Oh, that sucks.
But I had a couple of good matches. It was all on stream. It was fun. I've been labbing a bit with some characters. Master Roshi just got announced. We'll talk about that in the news, though, because there's some fucking ridiculous, embarrassing fucking shit with that. But anyway, we'll get to it.
I heard all about that. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that. God damn. I can't every time. Anyway.
But,
it's a good game. It's a good game. It's
it is
super
really fun. Yeah.
The reason I fell off it initially was just the online was so garbage feeling, and it still is. But I'm gonna try to work through it. It's on my. It's a official slated game on my Steam stream schedule for the next foreseeable bit until I get fed up with the netcode again, which probably I give it about a month, honestly. I'm gonna try to tough it longer, but it's just
netcode be a fickle mistress.
I mean, it sucks because I had a game that was 18 frames of delay, and that's
not acceptable.
That's not acceptable.
Not acceptable.
But the worst part about that is that I played a game not immediately after, but I think 2-3 sets after that was 4 to 5 frames of delay, and it felt worse than the 18 frame delay game.
What the fuck?
And then I was like, well, the frame delay is just lying to me. It's telling me, I think when you get into a match, it takes the frame delay into account and then just kind of keeps it at around that level. So
That's
if the
not
connection,
acceptable.
if the connection improves, it doesn't say that it improves. I don't know. I might also just have been like losing my mind and just trying to be salty about shit. But the 3 to 4 frame delay felt way worse.
Okay, I mean, also though, you have been playing regularly.
Yeah.
A game with fucking amazing netcode that is like by all means should not feel better than these games made by huge studios.
Exactly, that's the thing too. Power Rangers.
There's no way.
Power Rangers
there's
even the bad matches in Power Rangers feel better than the.
There's no excuse.
Like the okay matches in Dragon Ball.
I've only done a few online matches. I'm rank 3 now, by the way. In Power Rangers, which is not that high, but it's better than a rank 0, which I was looking at that feeling a little guilty.
Yeah.
So I've been playing a couple of online
fighting
rounds,
games, man.
and I've really been enjoying my time with Power Rangers. But I'm thinking to myself, why the fuck is it acceptable for Capcom to release a game like Street Fighter V with the ass netcode that it has, or Arxis
I talked about
with fucking
this.
DBZ Fighters, and Power Rangers, a game which, when you're scrolling, I've never played a game with jankier menus than Power Rangers Battle for the Grid.
I don't know how it is
but
on
the
Switch. The menus on
the
Steam
second
are
you hit
okay.
around, it's not great on Switch, but the second you get into a fight, doesn't matter.
Good game.
Great
Power
game.
Rangers,
The gameplay and the netcode. I'm playing crossplay on that thing all the time.
Yeah, same.
I know that all of my opponents can't just be Switch opponents. There's no way.
There's no way. I mean, that's the thing too
great.
with Power Rangers is, I mean, I'm streaming it later, probably around like 10:30. But I fucking love that game. I think it's one of my favorite fighting games of like the past 10 years easily.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
I've been playing as
but I talked
RJ lately.
I talked about the Street
Fighter.
Fighter V shit. Oh, you got the DLC. Nice. Wait, did you
I
get the DLC last time?
I got it last time, but yeah, now I've been properly playing around with RJ. He's
anyway,
fun.
Street Fighter V.
I've been playing with sorry to interrupt.
No,
you.
yeah, go for it. Go for it.
What's fucking hell, Eric?
Oh yeah,
Quantum Ranger.
Yeah, Virgil. He's
really he is.
He's
yeah,
a
Virgil,
cheap
straight
bastard.
Up. Real fun though. Holy fuck.
I think there's a picture going around where it's someone in Virgil cosplay playing Eric.
That's good.
And I'm just like, yeah, that makes sense. Anyway,
that does. That's very on brand.
To bring it back to the Street Fighter thing, and like I'm gonna like. Full disclosure, fighting game news this week is piled as shit. It's probably going to be a really long one. If fighting games don't interest you, we're going to save it for the end anyway. But it's going to be a long ass talk on my end because a bunch of shit happened, but we'll get there. Anyway, the Street Fighter V thing. The thing that's most baffling with Street Fighter V too is that the netcode for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is actually good.
Yeah, it's great actually.
But Street Fighter V, even with the update,
literally,
which
their
did make it better,
fighting game.
To be fair,
their tentpole fighting game.
To be fair, they did update it. There was that update. I think right around when Seth came out, Champion Edition, whatever. That did make the netcode a bit better, just a bit. But you still get wonky, horrible matches, and that is baffling to me. And yeah. Anyway, Street Fighter, Power Rangers, good game. I played, what were we talking about? Not Fantasy Strike. Dragon Ball. Yes.
Yeah,
the other thing too
DBZ,
with Dragon Ball is there's also Dragon Ball news this week, so we'll get into that. It's gonna be a fighting game episode.
Oh yeah, this is a fighter.
But yeah,
this is a punch boy special.
I mean, I need to practice more. There's a lot of shit that happened on stream and off stream that is 100% my fault and not connection based. But that being said, there are some things that are strictly connection based, and I just want to play the game. I just want to play and that's the thing too with the FGC at the moment is like, oh, just play Killer Instinct or just play fucking Skullgirls or we're not gonna play fucking Skullgirls because that's also in the news this week. But anyway,
oh boy,
yeah, hold on, we'll get there. I told you it's fighting game. But yeah, it's fucked up because it's like, look, I love Killer Instinct. I don't want to play Killer Instinct right now. I want to play Dragon Ball Fighterz. I want to play as Android 21.
I want to play I want to play fucking Hyper Fighter.
I want to play as Android 21, Super Broly, and Gotenks, and I want Super Broly to throw you into the ground while Gotenks shoots you with his mouth laser, crosses you up, hits you down, and then Android 21 comes in and grabs you and slams you into the ground. Then Supers turns you into a little macaroon and then eats you. That's what I want to play. I don't want to play
I want to play the Vor Android game.
Exactly. My wife. The
Android Vor game.
I ordered a mouse pad. Anyway.
Oh God. To go with your beautiful 2B one.
Oh no, that one's finished. That's why I ordered the mouse pad. Yeah, no, at some point they just kind of... Well, especially because
her ass wore out.
Yeah, her ass wore out. Her ass split and the goop fell out, so...
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
The move... I think the move, I wasn't delicate in putting her in the box, and it just kind of... Anyway.
You gotta treat her nice.
You do. You do. Tenacious D has a whole song about that.
Oh, boy.
Alright, so yeah, Dragon Ball Fighterz, I guess we'll get more into my fucking shit about that game when we hit the news, because it's in the news. But good game. Having issues. Fun. It is on the stream schedule for probably... We'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see. I don't know. I'm going to feel it
Wednesday
out.
or Friday. Well, not Wednesday.
Wednesday is Dragon Ball Fridays. Wednesday is...
DBZFF.
Yeah. Wednesday is them Fightin Herds, which is also a game I played this week. Good segue.
Yes. That game.
Good game. Good
Tasty.
game. Good netcode.
Tasty
good
game.
netcode.
Yeah, really good netcode.
I'm starting to get used to it. I did actually a stream that was entirely the tutorial for every single character, because I was like, all right,
hell yeah.
I'm playing this game. I want to play this game. I want to be good at this game. There's something I'm missing here. Every match online, I am getting bodied. I'm fucking up. I'm not doing it right. So I did the tutorial for every character. And effectively, there was things that I was just not picking up on. I thought recovery was just one button, but it's two, I believe. It's a 2-button recovery. No, push block. Push block was 2 buttons.
Oh, okay.
And I'm used to it being either 1 button or like, because Power Rangers, it's 1 button.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of shit.
Really do love the block in Power Rangers.
It's good.
Holy fuck, is that a good block?
Air recovery in them's Fightin Herds is also like basically a frame thing, which I wasn't sure. Like, I was always trying to mash to recover because it's just kind of the reflex you have. So when you're getting bodied, you're like, I'll mash out of it, and it's like, no, it's got to be like at this certain point. You gotta hit one button, that's it.
So
and I was like,
it really is a frame thing.
So that's why I was fucking that up. Also, the characters I were playing just weren't really for me. I think I did find my main, and my main for now is Velvet. Hopefully up until Shanty comes out.
Shanty is the new character who is a pirate goat.
A pirate goat who is a low-key strider, which is already vibing with me.
That's super cool.
But that's in the news. She's great. But yeah, we'll get to that.
I love that. I love pirate and goat.
Pirate goat. Also,
pirate goat.
Okay. I mean, well, we'll talk about it more on the news. But her song and stage basically is directly a King K. Rool reference.
It straight up is. Like it's just
the
Gangplank Galleon from DKC 2.
The song especially.
It's basically the it's that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is.
Exactly.
It's almost literally that. I respect the ballsiness.
And yeah, that'll be the segue into my next game. which was well, I mean, no, I'll finish. If Them's Fighting Herds good. I did another stream with Velvet mostly, and that went pretty well. I won my actual first set in that stream on Them's Fighting Herds, and I went on to win a couple of rounds. Not any full sets, because Them's Fighting Herds is nice because you can rematch the same person as many times as you want, kind of like Dragon Ball Fighterz and shit. So when I do meet someone who like doesn't body me too hard, but bodies me, and like when I meet someone whose connection is good, bodies me to the point where I'm actually kind of learning things and stuff, but doesn't just like one touch me and then I just die every time, because that shit makes me salty, and then I just get mad and then I'm like, I don't want to play this game anymore. But like actually learning matchups and stuff, it's getting better. Progress is being made. I have an emote actually coming that is it's very cute.
It's really cute.
Did I send it to you?
Yeah, you did.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
No.
Oh, it's a new one?
Yeah, the new one. Because I sent you the Power Ranger glove one.
I didn't see that shit.
I'll send you the rough draft.
Please do.
Because it's good. It's good. But Them's Fighting Herds, new emote related to Them's Fighting Herds. Good game. Streaming that on Wednesdays, mostly. And Power Rangers is Mondays. That's the schedule for right now, and I'll work in some single player shit at some point. Probably I might drop a game for a day or something. Like if one day I'm like, I don't want to deal with Dragon Ball FighterZ netcode, I'll be like, I'm streaming something.
That'd just be me every day. I don't want to fucking do that.
Yeah, it's so disheartening too, because it's such a good game, and it's such a it's the game that I wanted to play the most. It's the game that got me into the FGC. It is literally
a perfect fighting game, except for the fucking horrible
It's the game that got me into the FGC. It's the game that made me want to play fighting games. Because, I mean, I played fighting games before when I was younger, but never at a competitive level, never wanted to get super good. I just wanted to beat my friends. So I would look up how to beat my friends, and then I would beat my friends, and then I'd be like, ha 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 ha. And they'd be like, I don't want to play this anymore. Let's play Sonic Adventure 2. And I'd be like, okay. Right? Like...
Yeah,
I was never a god at fighting games. I just got good at fighting games with whoever I was playing with. But Dragon Ball FighterZ was the first time I was like, no, I'm getting in. I'm going in. This is it. And then the online wasn't good, and then I was like, well, I still want to keep playing fighting games, so I guess I'll pick up Street Fighter 5 and see. Oh no. And then I tried getting into Skullgirls, but the community was mostly killers by the time that I got into Skullgirls. And they're also
currently on fire.
Oh yeah, no, well, I mean, we'll get into that. But at the time that I got into fighting games, it was around Dragon Ball FighterZ release, so it was before all the all the stuff. And so I was like, I'll hop online, and then I was like, wow, I can't, I don't even get to play the game. Okay. And yeah, so that's
fucking
been my
sucks.
FGC journey. Is either the game has bad
and
netcode,
quite a journey it was.
Yeah, well, I mean, Power Rangers is going pretty good. I feel confident in Power Rangers.
I think Power Rangers is going to be your real in.
Yeah, that or Them's Fighting Herds. I think I can
both, either or.
With the headway I've been making, I'm really waiting for Strive. Honestly,
I'm just waiting for Them's Fighting Herds to become the new Skullgirls.
It basically is getting.
I know,
there,
like I want it to get the cred and respect that Skullgirls
except for the people that are like, it's the pony game, and you're like, yeah, but what's your point?
Well, yeah, but
what's
not
your point?
Really. Like, and why does it matter? It's good. Like, I get it. The MLP fandom does also make me want to fucking kill myself, but
but it's not. That's like some furries make me want to kill myself, but I will die for Sonic Fox.
Yeah, you know, so there we go. Yep. Why damn the lot of them when it's only the ones that need damning that should be damned?
Yeah.
You know? Like, I'm not gonna tell all these pony fans that the fucking game is bad just because I don't like them.
Yeah.
It's not a bad game. It's great.
I'm not gonna not play the game because
why would you deprive yourself of a good fighting game?
Exactly.
Because you dislike the fandom that birthed the idea of it.
Exactly.
Like, it's like so many degrees of separation at this point anyway.
Yeah, it's so weird. Anyway.
Now it's just like a cool thing that Lauren Faust actually was like, hey, I'm gonna design these fucking characters for you.
Yeah, and write the lore.
It's chill as hell. Chill as fucking hell, guys. Like, you did a really cool job.
Yeah. Main 6, y'all do good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think every stream I've had of them fighting herds, at some point a dev has come in and been like, hey, this, or, whatever. Just chatted, and I was like, sick.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah.
That's so fucking cool. How many other fucking games can you say have that?
Not many.
Not very many.
Not Street Fighter 5.
No. No, the devs for Street Fighter 5 are busy fucking hiding.
Yeah. Well, one of them is, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, that too. All right. So, I guess we might as well make that the segue.
I got more games.
I had more?
A packed week.
Oh boy.
All right. So as I said, Them's Fighting Herds. I ended up beating, as the segue for Shanty being a King K. Rool reference. I went over to friends for a weekly video game night, and we beat Donkey Kong Country 1. That game holds up.
Playing it on Switch?
No, the Nintendo Mini SNES thing.
Oh,
it's like unfindable now because he got it, and yeah. So we played on that.
This may happens to be our good friend Night of the Living Toys.
It do be.
Yeah.
It do be.
Who, by the way, you should be following on Instagram and social media.
Big ups to Night of the Living Toys. Makes crazy ass dioramas. Is actually working on right now a hallway of the Nostromo, the ship from Alien.
From Alien, yeah.
And
oh fuck.
The sneak I got a sneak peek of it. It's amazing, honestly.
Oh shit. Yeah, if you're interested in if you're interested in toy photography, toys in general, or just like horror iconography, horror toys, horror anything, follow Night of the Living Toys. His shit is fucking insane. It's so good.
The detail is immaculate.
All of this shit is handmade.
I'm consistently impressed.
It's nuts.
By all his work.
If you think kit bashing is crazy cool, or if you don't know what kit bashing is, check him out. He's amazing. He's fucking amazing.
He's just starting essentially, right? He's got his wall, which I might post on my story next time I go over to his house. But he's got his wall of his own. He made his own dioramas, right, as kind of a tester thing for shit. And then he's getting really into it this year. He got a machine actually, which I think he will be using soon for cutouts and shit. And he spends his time making these crazy ass dioramas. They look amazing. I actually commissioned him for later this year to make me the temple stage from Street Fighter 2, the Ryu Japan stage. And then I'm going to get a Ryu and Ken figure and just have that hopefully in the background of my stream somewhere.
That'd be so fucking cool.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, you can just make it like a flat 2D, not 2D, but blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh no, we're going to layer it so it looks just like the actual stage. And I was like, yeah, let's go.
Holy
going
fuck,
in, son.
Boy.
But yeah,
it's so fucking cool. God
it's
damn.
Great. Night of the Living Toys, good thing. I don't remember. He changes the ad on Twitter. It's not the same.
Oh, it's not anymore.
No.
Okay.
Well,
but I mean, I think if you search up Night of the Living Toys
on Instagram,
it's his on Instagram, and then I think he has a link to his Twitter there.
Yeah, he has he should. So check him out. He does good work.
Yeah, holy shit.
And
see, while we're shouting people out, I gotta give a big thank you to the GameCube is Cool podcast for giving us a shout out in their episode on Super Monkey Ball the other day. That was wonderful. If you have any love for the GameCube, which you should if you don't. Anybody who grew up with it has some fondness for that thing.
It didn't sell super well at the start, but boy oh boy, is it. It's Dreamcast levels.
Is it fondly remembered?
It is Dreamcast levels of fondness, I find.
Yeah. I think so too. But if you, and speaking of Dreamcast, they just did a great episode on Dreamcast to GameCube ports. So if you're in any way interested in the GameCube or the history of the GameCube or the GameCube super fucking weird library, they're kind of doing with the GameCube what we're doing with the DS. So I highly recommend you give them a look. They're also from Toronto, which is fucking cool. They're Canadian as hell.
Hell yeah.
So another small independent Canadian video game podcast
From the
could use your support, could use your love, and deserve your love. So yeah, thank you to Mike and Neil for the shout out, and we're gonna keep listening to you guys because your podcast is fucking great.
You guys are killing it.
Yeah, you guys are really killing it. Yeah, shout out, impromptu shout outs over.
Impromptu shout outs over. Yeah. So that was it. That was them's Fighting Herds, Donkey Kong Country. All right. And then the final game I picked back up, the back inning, but this is on my own time. This is for me, is Yakuza 0. Because
yes.
I just found out recently that the karaoke songs finally got added to Spotify.
Oh, yes,
so
that's
my
true.
bike
They
rides
did.
to work have been me singing 24 Hour Cinderella and Judgment on repeat. And I was like, I should really get back into the Yakuza games. And they're good.
They're so
the
good.
sub-stories are amazing. I'm waiting to finish one to move on to
everybody who clings to the memory of Shenmue desperately, claiming that it's like the greatest, most important thing ever.
Yakuza's so much
They
better.
should be playing fucking Yakuza.
Yeah. Fuck Shenmue, especially Shenmue 3. Goddamn, what a nightmare.
I mean, fuck Shenmue 3 with like
oh god, yeah, the
like a bat with fucking nails in it. Fuck Shenmue 3.
God,
but
bad looks, Sega, bad
yeah,
looks.
if you are one of those people who like praised to fucking Yu Suzuki and his like Shenmue 1 and 2 masterwork games, if you're one of those
play
people
Yakuza games,
and you haven't played Yakuza, do yourself a favor, play Yakuza and forget all about it.
Start with
Shenmue.
0.
Yeah.
Just start with 0. That's all you need.
And yeah, honestly, you pretty much wouldn't need to play other games apart from 0 to get the full Yakuza experience.
Yeah.
Like, even if the only Yakuza game you ever play is 0, you will have played one of the best games in the series.
Yeah, and it's
incredible.
I'll do a big spoilery full breakdown of my thoughts of the game when I beat it. I think I'm about 50% through. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more. I'm not really sure. I'm trying to do all the sub stories too, because some of them are like, but some of them are like,
oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
So more on that, but yeah, just the back inning of the Yakuza series has begun.
Hell yeah.
And that was it for me. If we can take a 2-minute break real quick, I gotta go to the bathroom, get another beverage, and then we can hop into the news.
Sounds like
I don't know if you want to kill airtime or just cut this part out, but
no, we'll just cut it out. You head on over.
All right.
Get yourself a beverage.
I'll be right back.
Hey, we're back.
Yeah, so I'll let you hit what news articles you wanted to hit, because my pile was so big this week that I'm probably
honestly,
even gonna forget some.
I personally had really nothing that you already didn't want to talk about. So why don't you just start us off?
Good shit. All right. Well, first of all, I want to say, fuck Lab Zero.
Fuck Lab Zero.
For still not making a statement on Mike Z.
Yeah.
And having the balls to release a character to the mobile game, the mobile Skullgirls game, which is a fine game. Yeah. Skullgirls, great game. Love Skullgirls. Literally. Love Skullgirls.
This has nothing to do with loving the game. This has everything to do with hating the fucking people
and the management around everything that happened.
Yeah,
when the
this is the most like it's a corporate smokescreen bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
That you expect from
EA.
Pretty much, you just have to come to expect from like
EA,
somebody like EA,
Epic Games.
But the lack of transparency, the lack of fucking transparency is disgusting.
Yeah, especially since when everything was popping off with Mike Z. They were like, we will release a statement soon, and before they ever even released a statement, which by the way was not soon, they released a new character who by all means looks great, looks like a fun character. Am I gonna play her? No, not until I get a Mike Z statement. I just want a statement. I think that's what a lot of people want. That's what Bun wants. That's what pretty much not all the SGC wants, but a lot of people.
A lot of people in the SGC want a statement to be made, because leaving that shit to hang in the air
is horrible,
like
and it
so
feels
much,
gross.
Yeah, like so much dirty laundry. Yeah, it's gross.
Especially since
it's not permissible.
Especially since they said we're gonna release a statement soon and just never Never followed up.
Did.
It's like,
they never made good on
is Mike
that
still
shit.
working there? Did you fire Mike? What's the deal with Mike? What is up? I just want a statement, and from there I will be like, all right, I'll go back to playing Skullgirls, or no, I'm gonna not play Skullgirls anymore. You shot yourself in the foot, lead programmer.
There's no excuse for it.
No,
there's no excuse.
It's
for
really
it at
weird.
this point.
It's super strange too. Just a statement. Just that's all. And then whoever wants to continue playing will continue playing. Whoever says it's not good enough won't. That's all you got to do. You're not helping yourself by releasing a character. In fact, you're damaging yourself more to people who were kind of optimistic about the fact that you were even acknowledging it. Because most companies just wouldn't be like, oh yeah, we'll release a statement soon. They'd just be like, what? Hey, new character. But instead, you guys said, we'll release a new statement soon.
You guys aren't Ubisoft. You're not EA. You're not a huge AAA company. The fact that you have like prided yourselves as a company on like the amount of transparency and interaction you have with your fan base,
which to be fair was goddamn amazing.
It was really great. We liked you for that. Well, guess what? That means that having to do that during the hard shit too.
Even just at the beginning of this year, like the amount of updates that Skullgirls was still receiving was crazy. The netcode got better somehow. Mike Z was working on that, and like that's the thing. Mike Z is a big part of Skullgirls, which is why it's super important to get a statement on everything that happened. Right? Like, you can't just brush it off and be like, "Hey, look, new character. She has a Virgil down slash." She also has what was her? She has a Terry Bogard burn knuckle looking animation. Like, yeah, okay, the fighting game references are there, but what's up with
what's up with Mike, guys?
What's up with Mike?
It's not fucking cool. Say something.
Literally a statement.
Say something. Anything. Some form of acknowledgement is all that people in the SGC are asking.
And then again, the people who want to stay will stay. The people who don't won't. That's basically what's happening now. It's not any worse than what's happening now. Anyway, that's the SGC
so that's what's going on with the SGC and with Mike Z. That started a while ago. Still no movement on that.
No,
there is something that I do want to give an update. Twitch had removed the United States military from the platform, but they, after like a hearing, they found that like they basically weren't allowed to do that, and they had to let them back on. But our brothers in arms, our comrades in arms, are fighting the good fight and cyberbullying the U.S. military over Twitch.
I followed them just to cyberbully them, but there's a 24-hour delay after the follow before you can cyberbully the U.S. military, unfortunately.
Oh, well.
And when I followed, they were playing World of War Crimes.
Not a surprise. But, so people are cyberbullying the U.S. military. Hopefully we can cyberbully them off the platform. Because the U.S. military has no fucking place on Twitch. They should not be using Twitch as a fucking naked recruitment tactic.
They have no place in high schools. They have no place in colleges.
They have no place existing, period.
Fuck
the U.S. military.
Is bad.
Fuck the army in general. The U.S. military is a fucking evil colonial institution, as are all militaries.
Hi, welcome to our unpolitical video game podcast.
Yeah, this podcast contains no politics.
No, we're super unpolitical.
We're just like Tom Clancy's The Division 2.
Yeah, The Division 2.
No politics.
Or Watch Dogs 2.
Or Watch Dogs 2. No politics.
None.
An apolitical gaming podcast.
Thank you.
But yeah, so cyberbully the U.S. military. Keep fighting the good fight, comrades. Do you want to hop to the Street Fighter shit?
Was there something else?
Or do you want to do DBZF?
We're gonna do DBZF, then Street Fighter, and then the two Orwell things. Because there's two. I think you know of one, but I don't think you know about the other one.
I might not know the other.
I'll start with the other one, because I know the one you know. Anyway, so Dragon Ball FighterZ had a update stream, whatever, where they said nothing about netcode, and everyone was very upset, except for the people who live in Japan and have good internet and don't have to worry about netcode, which is probably not super true. It's just the sentiment that gets echoed on the internet, but
yeah, I don't think it's necessarily
true.
Bad netcode is bad netcode globally.
Yeah,
it's like a fundamental problem with the game itself.
Exactly. But anyway, so yeah, they were just basically, it was a nothing thing where they were like, we're having I think my favorite part about it actually is because they're announcing like a tournament, and it's going to be sectioned off, and the fact that they had to section off East America and East North America and West North America really speaks to the netcode.
Yeah, like they can't even have an American division. It has to be coastal.
Yeah, they have to do it coastal.
That's
of course
Jesus
Japan's
Christ.
there, Spain's there, and I think some other maybe Britain. I don't know, whatever.
I think France as well.
Oh, it might have been France and not Britain. It was one of those.
On DBZF.
European...
I mean, they're big on fighting games in France in general, but DBZF is huge in France.
Yeah, I think it was
massive.
France. But anyway, it was that. Also, a character announcement, which was spoiled early by whoever the fuck decided to include the name of the character in the upcoming months, the roadmap, I guess. Because the roadmap, before the character trailer ever played, we all knew, like, pretty much anyone who's been paying attention to Dragon Ball FighterZ knew it was going to be Master Roshi.
I mean, honestly, pretty much anybody who knows anything about Dragon Ball knew that inevitably Roshi would come to the game.
Yes, no, but I'm talking about this character in particular because there was a Japanese update trailer or something where, like, the phrase was just like, oh, that's Roshi. That can't be anyone but Roshi in the Dragon Ball universe. That doesn't make sense that it wouldn't be. Yeah. But, like, the suspense was still there. And God bless Tyrant for being a hilarious, I guess, co-host, because there's two, I guess, co-host, whatever, of the entire event, because after the slide got shown where it said the roadmap for September was going to be the actual tournament and then a Master Roshi showcase, and everyone went, really? Tyrant was jokingly and like tooth to ear, like mouth to ear smile, just fucking I know as much as these guys know right now. I haven't seen the trailer. I know as much as you do. And I was just like, you son of a bitch. Good shit.
That's fucking great.
So it was funny. But yeah, Master Roshi, and the trailer was a Dragon Ball FighterZ trailer, so it was disappointing, and there was nothing there for anyone who actually cares.
They could literally fit the whole trailer into like a 2-second GIF.
It was a 30-second GIF, I think. But yeah, the whole trailer was there. Essentially, you have the end of his level 3 and his win pose. And that's it.
Great showcase, boys.
The showcase showcase is in September of his gameplay. But it's just the fact that the trailers are so tone deaf to like what people actually want out of a fighting game trailer. You want to see a good fighting game trailer?
A good fighting game trailer is
Killer
Instinct
is a fucking, trailers.
KI.
You go watch even the fucking Super Smash Bros. Trailer.
Yeah, the Smash trailers are nuts. Sakurai's there workshopping the character for everybody.
And Dragon Ball FighterZ, and that's the thing with like a lot of modern fighting games too. I find is like the trailers are just it's like a wet fart of an even
like,
the Shanti trailer. I got hyped, but even the Shanti trailer for them's Fighting Herds was the character art, the stage, a bit of the song, and her running and doing an overhead. But to be fair, they are still in the early workings of Shanti. The actual gameplay that they showed in the later thing, which I guess we will segue into now because I'm pretty much done talking about Dragon Ball FighterZ, other than their trailers suck. The Shanti gameplay reveal was actually super in-depth, and they even showed you the super rough cardboard shit, where it's like just a super sketchy, like, this is what her move is kind of going to look like.
They were literally just basically showing you frames.
Yeah, exactly. And like,
but the fact that they even bothered to go that in depth just to give you, the audience, something to kind of chew into with the announcement is like so above and beyond what usually is.
I mean, that's the thing with Western developers and Japanese developers, especially for fighting games, is Japanese developers are super secretive. Even some patch notes for like fighting games is just like character adjustments. It's like, what does that mean? What are you talking about? Whereas you got the main 6 dudes coming out here and being like, oh, she's got an overhead. Her hitboxes, even though she's small, are the same size as everyone else's. We have universal hitboxes, which means that, like, no matter what the character looks like, you're not going to have an Abigail situation. You're not going to have a, what's his name? Birdie situation, where, like, the character's massive. Birdie. Or a Yoda situation from Soul Cal 2, right? Where the character's super tiny, but you can't...
Oh my fucking god.
The most horseshit character ever added to a fighting game.
Forgot about that shit.
Never forget.
Oh, fucking forgot about that.
And, like, even...
That's wonderful.
Bringing it back to when I played through the tutorial, the main 6 guys, man, they give you everything you need.
Yeah.
Like, there's no... The tutorial is probably... Outside of Under Night in Birth, which I have not played, but apparently the tutorial is very, like, hyper in-depth, which is super appreciated. And I plan on playing that at some point. I just haven't had the money for it, because I'm buying too many character DLC packs for other games that I'm actually playing. But, yeah, other than Under Night in Birth, I don't think there's ever been, like, another as in-depth, where the actual tutorial shows you the frame data. And you're like, wow, amazing. It's nuts. And
yeah, it's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, no, Main 6 is doing good work.
They're a great fucking little dev team,
and, like,
man.
she's,
those guys know what the fuck they are doing.
Shanty is just it's just Strider, essentially. She has ping pong combos. It's gonna be sick. I'm very excited for Shanty. I think the last time I got this excited about an original character trailer reveal was probably G from Street Fighter V, because he's basically just Q, and lore implications imply that he is Q but earlier than Q,
which is super really
which
cool.
is fun, but also we'll see. Anyway, and then talking about Street Fighter V, we're just kind of blowing through the news right now, but that's all right. There's a lot of fighting game shit, and I just kind of want to. I don't want to linger too long on one thing. Well, I know some people.
I feel like we say quite enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Ono has air quotes stepped down from Capcom. He will be leaving Capcom this summer, and
which is
it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
I will blatantly say it is overall a good thing. I appreciate that he brought back Street Fighter 4 and made it good. But every fighting game division of Capcom decision that has been made since then, which is when he kind of got into office, has been
questionable
at best.
most generous questionable. But of course, yeah, we're not here to be generous.
No, on talk. Like, I don't want to speak for anyone who, like.
Yeah, we're not saying this as a monolithic truth.
No.
We're not here to represent the whole of the FGC.
The man is amazing PR face.
Yeah.
Under the covers, apparently less so. Decisions that were made were probably super damaging to the company. Probably super damaging to Street Fighter V.
Damaging to Street Fighter's reputation as a franchise.
Damaging to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Yeah.
Damaging
that game was dead on arrival because of
Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and a lot of it...
A game that people don't even want to talk about because of how disastrous it was.
Oh god, it was rough. It was rough.
Yeah. Street Fighter Cross Tekken. If you guys don't know anything about that, I think there is a Matt McMuscle's what happened on it.
And there's also
holy shit.
Yeah, if you want your Ono dose right now, Maximilian actually has a really good breakdown video on Ono leaving, which I don't remember the title of, but it's I think one of the most recent ones, so it's super easy to find. So just look up Maximilian Dude on YouTube. Should be able to find it. If you don't know who he is, obviously. If you do know who he is, you probably already seen it. Matt McMuscles has a really good breakdown video on Street Fighter V. He has a really good breakdown.
That one was great. Just came out recently.
Yeah, he has a really good breakdown video on Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and he also has a case file video on the Darkstalkers series, which is also very good. All vaguely relating to Ono.
Mm-hmm.
In some shape or form. If that
Ono,
tells you
all
anything.
all the credit to Ono for revitalizing Capcom as like a fighting game company, but
for Street Fighter 4,
that's about the most credit you can give him as Street Fighter 4.
It's a mixed bag
beyond
of
Street
emotions
Fighter
with
4.
Ono.
It's really been a downward spiral.
And,
Cross Tekken is a disastrous failure of a game.
It is. It commercially
5
failed.
starts out as a failure.
It's getting
better. It has improved steadily, but the fact that it had to at all is a problem.
I mean, but the fact that it's improving at all is also amazing. Just like
considering how bad it was.
If you look at Seth, if you look at Gil, if you look back at G, that's when you could tell that the dev team was starting to have fun with the characters.
Yeah.
And that's the most important part about fighting games is you want your dev team to have fun. I think Ono maybe started losing a bit of his influence around when G was announced. And it just kind of built up from there. Because now we have Seth, we have Gil, who are crazy characters. We have Dan. Dan is coming.
Yeah, Dan is freaking back,
is
y'all.
Amazing. That also...
Anybody who's anybody should love Dan, and if you don't love Dan,
you're wrong.
then
you're wrong.
You're wrong. Dan is
you're
the best
playing
Street
fighting
Fighter
games
character.
for the wrong reason if you don't like Dan.
Dan is the freaking best.
You can quote me on that. Anyway.
Yeah. Dan stands.
I mean, I've never liked Dan too much. Like, he's never been like my favorite character, but I've always liked playing as Dan, you know? And that's the main
I love
thing.
Dan. I love him. I love joke characters in any fighting games.
He's a goofy Ryo.
Yeah.
Like, what more do you want?
Yep, that's what he is, and that's what I love about him.
What was I saying? Dan, Akira. The fact that they're talking about rival schools in a Street Fighter game in 2020 is
really cool,
fucked up, and wild and crazy, and only inspires hope for the fighting game.
That makes me want a new freaking rival school.
That and the fact that
badly.
This character DLC pack only exists because Ono fucked up Street Fighter 6 so bad, allegedly, not my words, inside source. But it super makes sense.
We'll take that info with a grain of salt, but we have it on Word.
Well, I mean, it's one of those Twitter threads, right, where you're like, you look at this and you see people going, "What's your source? My uncle works at Nintendo, or some guy, or just trust me." And it's like, I don't know. This one seems right. This seems, yeah.
It's also just, it wouldn't be uncharacteristic of Ono to have severely fucked up the development.
Well, exactly.
Of
That's the thing. Is like, it just like this is one of those ones where you're like,
the fact that this is easy to believe.
This makes sense.
Goes to show you just how good of a thing it is.
Especially
that Ono was
since,
down.
like Capcom themselves were like, oh, this, like when Gil was announced and like Championship Edition was announced, like, this is the end of Street Fighter 5 and 6 will be coming in 2022, and everyone's like, yeah, that makes sense. And then insert Third Strike Sean Select MP3, and then this Street Fighter 5 Season 5 announcement just being like, what? But why? And then it's like, oh no, fucked up Street Fighter 6, so we fired him, but he's leaving. But we fired him, and we got someone else to take over Street Fighter 6, so it doesn't suck dick. And you're like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
And yeah, that's basically that on that. I mean, again, like, I don't know anyone who personally knows Ono. I've only heard hearsay of other people higher up in the industry.
It would be very unlikely that we
FGC.
know people who work for Capcom in Japan.
But never heard anyone say anything nice who's in, you know?
No, I know.
Outside
exactly.
of the outside of the
his
1, 2, 3
his reputation is
Shoryuken.
not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
his reputation is not very positive.
Like, there's shit where, like, Street Fighter 5, I don't know how many of y'all played early Street Fighter 5, but it had to get censored because Ono was pushing too much. You can actually download a mod for the old camera angles, or again, Maximilian has old vanilla Street Fighter 5 stuff, or I think he actually installed the mod for the camera angles. I'm not sure, but he has some old shit where the old R Mika win poses and some other shit, and you're like, whoa, okay, that was a decision for a video game.
That's pretty gross.
Especially Street Fighter, right? Like, this isn't a Surin Kagura. Surin Kagura, no. Sure, whatever. You know what you're getting.
Street Fighter characters, sure, there are hot Street Fighter girls.
Yes, and you can
people
make them. You can make them hot.
People like Chun-Li,
but you don't.
But guess what? There are also children.
Yeah, you don't.
In this series,
you can make the characters hot without horribly objectifying them.
Yeah, without sexualizing them into like a disgusting degree, which is what some of that shit was, like really transparently, and it was icky as hell.
Yeah.
So,
and of course, I'm not saying Ono was the sole doer.
Nor are we saying that GamePunx is anti-horny. We're pro-horny.
Yeah, don't follow me on Twitter.
We're pro-horny, but
if you're anti-horny, don't follow me on Twitter.
If you're anti-horny, don't follow either of us on Twitter.
Your timeline will get blown up.
But we are very pro-horny. That being said, we are anti-sexualizing people and objectifying female characters.
Yeah.
It's really gross. Like, a female character, if you're going to portray a female character who is proud and openly sexual...
Do it right.
Do not sexualize them. Do not objectify them.
Make it
do it in such a way that is demeaning. Yeah, do like 2B, who is just an attractive character with a nice ass.
Until you explode her skirt off, and then she's an attractive character with an even nicer ass.
There we go.
Thanks, Yoko
But
Taro.
Yoko Taro knows. Yoko Taro is about one of the few people I can think of who's great at
have
very
you played
tasteful
his mobile gacha game yet?
I have not.
Okay, it's called Sinnoh Alice. It's pretty good.
Oh boy.
It's pretty good.
I can't believe Yoko Taro made a gacha game.
Me neither, but it's very Yoko Taro. And they had a...
Want to bet Kentaro Miura, the creator of Berserk, is currently delaying Berserk because he's playing
oh yeah, because
the
new WoW... No, he's playing WoW again, the new update or whatever.
Oh god.
I don't know.
The only thing that he fucking knows how to do apart is like anything except for drawing Berserk.
Yeah.
He will play a billion gacha games and a billion MMORPGs.
I wrote the first 34, I think 34, no, like 31.
Yeah.
What are we at? 31 Berserk books, and then gacha games got invented, and then the pace got slowed the fuck down.
That is a man who is so easily
and I'm so sick of every year. I'm so sick of every single fucking year of Berserk is coming back. He's finally writing new gacha game.
Like this isn't a freaking Yoshihiro Togashi thing where Togashi is legitimately physically ill and wants to continue Hunter x Hunter, but
lives in a horrible mess of bedbugs and filth.
No, that's just the old picture.
Yeah, I know, but
he lives with Naoko Takeuchi. I'm sure she's a clean girl.
Oh, yeah, that's.
But and he's also a father with 2 children, so
yeah.
When he's not dying of pains like in his body,
but
from whatever horrible medical conditions.
I think I remember like an old like thing where like Chimera Ant was basically inspired by that old picture, though, right?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, that's a really funny picture.
Yeah, it is. It's fucking horrible. It makes me uncomfortable.
I see it and I'm like, this is my gamer crib, my gamer pit.
Yeah, straight up gamer pit. I've been paying oh, Jesus Christ!
But yeah, Miura and Togashi, not the same thing. Togashi is physically ill and cannot like write more Hunter x Hunter despite wanting to.
Miura
versus
is just
Kentaro Miura just being addicted to gacha.
But wait, there's another swimsuit edition.
Oh god.
Speaking of which, Sinnoh Alice just started their swimsuit bullshit, and I was like, oh,
actually,
really? We're doing
Street
that?
Fighter and Udon are putting out a great Street Fighter swimsuit.
Oh yeah,
book.
No, yeah, I've seen. Yeah,
I'm super hyped for that. It's so cute.
Yo, M Bison.
M Bison
got me feeling some type of way.
Holy shit! Holy shit!
I never liked M Bison until this picture got leaked.
Yeah, and then I was just like,
hey, you know what?
Piquing me interest a little bit there. Yeah. Who knew that all you had to do was put the guy in a Speedo and I would be like, ooh.
Oh wow, good character design. That's that good character design.
Who cares that he's a fascist? He's hot.
Yeah, the dolls too around him.
Yeah, yeah. Pretty cool. Anyway.
Man, being bi is the best.
We had one more story we wanted to talk about.
2 more.
Or like 2 more, but basically the same.
Orwell stories. So did you know they're making an Animal Farm game for the Switch? Right?
I didn't know about that.
Right?
I did not know about that.
You can look up the trailer right now and tell me what you think. There's no gameplay. There's like nothing. The trailer's nothing, but it exists.
You ever seen those social media accounts that are like blanks that make you go,
Yeah.
Yeah, this is games that make you go,
It's a collectathon.
That's
No, it's not. I don't know. I think it would be fucking hilarious if it was a collectible.
That would be kind of funny if it was, but
it can't be though.
Wow. Okay. Can't wait to see how the devs completely misinterpret and misconstrue the politics of Animal Farm.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Can't wait to see how they turn Animal Farm into something not political.
Oh God. Yeah, the apolitical game of the year, Animal Farm. It's just
Animal
about
Farm,
animals, bro.
notably apolitical text.
It's not a thinly veiled metaphor for society at all. It's it's farms. It's animals on a farm. They get mad. Worker unions? No.
What is this
What?
about?
No,
God.
it's the pigs.
That's embarrassing. That is freaking embarrassing.
We'll see how it goes.
This could go so badly. I'm not holding out any hope.
I have no hope, but I can't wait to play it.
But the other
I will
Orwell
stream
story,
that game in its entirety.
wow, the other Orwell story.
I know. Well, that's what I was saying, right? I was like, I
yeah.
did not expect Orwell to be in the video game news twice in 2020.
I mean, this 2020 has been a very Orwellian year.
But
the last 20 years have been very Orwellian.
This might be the most ironic one.
Yeah. So
because,
everybody here knows how
off.
much the U.S. government loves Chinese-based conglomerate Tencent, right?
Oh,
the
man,
United States and Tencent, they're so tight, bro.
Hold on, we might be talking about a different story, but keep going.
Well, who owns what does Tencent own? Epic Games.
Everything.
Right? And
Platinum
what does
Games.
Epic Games proudly own? Fortnite.
Yes.
Well,
okay. No, I see it.
So this is what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
So the U.S. government currently beefing with Tencent. So they are like delisting Epic shit
Jesus.
everywhere. But that's pretty funny. It's not been a great week for Epic. But coming off of their not so great interactions with the United States government, here we have Fortnite doing something really fucking cringy.
Oh God, it's the worst it's
it's
ever
so
been.
Embarrassing. So embarrassing. I don't think there's ever been a
deaf.
more embarrassing Fortnite story. Tone deaf as fuck.
Totally deaf.
The masters of reading the room. The
Desolence
Fortnite devs,
actually,
everybody.
like, off the charts because
God.
the deeper you think about it, because I thought about this a lot this week, and at first I was like, oh, this is just kind of dumb, and the harder I went into it, the more I was like, what the fuck? So essentially, Epic had a thing where you had to go through their store to buy shit for Fortnite, which you can play on Apple devices. But
yes, you can.
The Apple TOS, which is Terms of Service, is or ULA, User License Agreement, whichever one it is, says that to be able to purchase things off the game that you are having on the App Store, they have to go through the App Store, and Apple will take a cut. Epic Games said, no, go through our thing. Apple said, bitch, what the fuck? Epic Games said, you're trying to run a monopoly, bro.
Which I mean, it's not an unfair accusation.
It's not an unfair,
Apple
but coming
definitely
from
has a
Epic
monopoly
Games,
on the tech industry.
But coming from Epic Games, who's been buying out PC games so they don't go on the Steam store, is fucking hilarious and ridiculous and so like.
The
Epic
Games like pointing fingers at another company and yelling, "You're trying to instigate
fascist.
A monopoly on the industry. You are fascists." Is
especially when their store doesn't even fucking work.
Yeah, firstly, when the Epic Game Store is the most like non-responsive fucking platform you could ever
like. I don't know about anyone
from.
listening right now, but my Epic Store, I got it about a year ago now when I played Outer Wilds, which I think I talked about. Praising
way back when,
back in 2019,
back a million years ago in 2019,
back when the world was sane.
Well, less insane.
And I don't know how, but I managed to install it to my computer. But the Epic Game Store, every time I open it, opens to a black screen, which is fucked because I've been wanting to play Samurai Showdown now for a while, especially since I've been playing Fantasy Strike, because it's basically just Sam Show, but a little lower budget, and I'm like, I kind of want to play a real Sam Show, but I can't because Epic Game Store won't open. It's a black screen. I've uninstalled it 4 times. I've talked to tech, nothing happens, and I'm like, fuck me. I'll wait for it to come to Steam, hopefully. So fuck Epic Games. But yeah, the irony of
Anyway,
them being like
pointing a finger at Apple, calling them fascists, and then releasing essentially an ad.
No, that is in game.
Oh, it's like an in-game thing.
Well, okay, no, the ad is the. Oh god, the ad is the Apple ad from like 30 years ago.
It's from the year 1984, I believe.
Yeah.
Where Apple released an ad accusing IBM of having like a monopoly on the home computer industry.
So Fortnite did
it used the imagery of the 1984 film 1984, like the adaptation of Orwell's book.
Yeah.
To be like a Yakuza towards IBM, going like, you guys are trying to instigate a monopoly. Are we going to have that? No. And so this big fucking corporation, or a little corporation known as Apple, accused IBM of having monopoly, and then years later, these fucking cringe lords at Fortnite do the same stupid damn thing that Apple did.
You know how hard that probably hit with the Fortnite audience, though, who are all like 12 to 13-year-olds?
They're like, whoa,
it's 1984, George Orwell. I read that book. I know what this means.
These kids have not read that book.
Exactly. That's the other thing that, like, even the harder I thought about it, I was like, wait, this is mostly directed at children
12-year-olds don't know this.
Who didn't even know the internet didn't exist.
Yep.
At some point.
Yep.
They never heard a dial-up tone.
These kids are not old enough to have been forced to read Orwell by a high school teacher.
Oh.
So the fact that
they haven't read
I guess
Animal
I kind of
Farm.
find the fact that the fact that Epic and Fortnite and Tencent are like appropriating the imagery of, and the fact that Apple did it too, the imagery of Orwell to accuse like one giant, because this is Orwell, right? A giant corporation accusing another giant corporation of instigating a monopoly,
especially
within their industry. That's what George Orwell was talking about.
That's
what 1984 was all about.
Especially looking back at what Apple has become now to that commercial, you're just like, you guys sell desk wheels for like $300 fucking a wheel.
Yeah. You cannot.
What the fuck?
You cannot fucking call yourselves the underdog.
And to be fair, I'm pretty sure that's since Steve Jobs died. Because before then, it was still expensive, but I was like, okay. But
Steve Jobs was a fucking an uncut Willie, don't get us wrong.
Yeah, but the ridiculousness of Apple has stepped the fuck up since he died.
I think he understood that some people, as the guy who is basically responsible for parsing out how Apple products were marketed, he understood fundamentally that if
it doesn't work, why the fuck are we doing it?
Yeah, they would not.
What was it? There's that story of him. I don't remember what Apple app was forced on the iPhone. He's like, it doesn't work. And they were like, yeah, but we have it on the phone. And he's like, take it the fuck off. What are you doing? It's like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
if you're gonna have, anyway, whatever.
The irony of these fucking huge corporations pointing fingers at one another.
These kaiju battles of law.
Yeah, exactly. Appropriating the imagery of Orwellian science fiction and political commentary.
So Orwell's been
to call one another big meanies for having tech monopolies is so fucking stupid and so ridiculous, and I don't know, it just makes me want to fucking put my head through a door.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah, George Orwell came up twice in the last week of gaming news,
which is too many times for George Orwell to come up during video game news, I think.
Yeah, quite frankly, and especially considering that it's not even appropriately referencing him. So yeah, this is quite something. But yeah, the fucking nuts on the people at fucking Epic for doing that. I gotta say, you are stupid, and
you continue to be cringe.
Fuck you. Fuck you guys, honestly. And I suppose that would be it for the episode.
Yeah, I think that's it.
It's been a long time.
Fuck Apple. Give me Samurai
Epic,
Showdown 5.
Yeah, Gibbs me that.
Yeah.
Gibbs me Sam show right now, please.
I want big damage fight game that's mostly defense. Because I have my Hyper Fighter, I have my Them's Fightin Herds, which is basically just like a traditional high combo game. And then I have Dragon Ball Fighterz, which is another hyper fighter. And I want like a high damage.
And you got
game.
Power Rangers, which is your fucking MVC clone.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that's what yeah. I have 2 hyper fighters and a high combo traditional. I just want like
we need
high
like
damage.
our pensive high damage fighter.
Yeah, I want my Fantasy Strike, but better.
Oh.
Not that it's bad. Like, don't get me wrong, Fantasy Strike's good. I just got kind of tired of the art style and the music and the lack of characters and.
They're still in development after all.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's still early, and like
I'm
giving them a fighting chance.
We'll see where that goes in the future.
Every update, I'm touching it for sure. It's a super fun game. It's just I was kind of like,
Maybe you burned yourself out a little bit.
It's because the amount of like creativity is very low, right? Like it's not one of those. It's not a Power Rangers. It's not a Dragon Ball. It's not even a Them's Fightin Herds.
Yeah. It does. Well, it doesn't. It doesn't have.
You have a very limited move.
It doesn't have the lore or clout of any of those.
Yeah, I mean, it apparently has some lore, but I don't want to get the single player shit just yet. Just because the movesets are so limited, because it is directional inputs and you only have 4 buttons, and one of those is a jump button. So it's a little repetitive after a bit, and I'm just kind of like, good game. I'm gonna wait for another like. Couple of new characters, and if I have to buy them, so be it. Whatever, I probably will.
That's sensible,
but we'll see.
All right, so yeah, thank you guys for having a listen to GamePunx this week. We'll try to get another episode up this week if we can. Sorry for being so late with this one. Sorry for having bed bugs and being allergic to things.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for listening. If you want to hit us up on social media, you can follow us at GamePunx on Twitter. We're also on Instagram at GamePunx, and I just set up a link tree for us, which you can see in our Twitter and our Instagram links that gives you easy, quick links to our YouTube channel, to our MP3 folder where you can download our episodes to listen to, gives you a link to our Facebook and also to our Twitch page, which we have not been using lately, but we will try to get back into using soon. And you can follow me on Twitter at NuvoArtPunk. I just make tweets there and try to be funny, and mostly I'm not. Or you can hit me up at NuvoArtPunk on Letterboxd, where you can see me write about all the movies that I watch. And Ben, you hit them with your shit.
Yeah, I'm Scratch Me Silly basically anywhere I can be. If the characters won't allow it, just type Scratch Me Silly and let the rest go. That's basically it. Twitch, I stream Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays for the moment. The schedule is up. It is currently Mondays is Power Rangers, Wednesdays is Them's Fightin Herds, and Friday is Power Rangers. Dragon Ball. Sorry. I'm streaming Power Rangers later, so I was thinking ahead. But since today is Monday night, I will be streaming Power Rangers, probably around 10 p.m. Give me time to like eat a little bit more, shower, all that stuff. But yeah,
do all the fun human things.
All the fun human things. Excrete waste, vomit, maybe.
Excrete
Who knows?
Waste.
But,
have a cheeky puke.
Yeah, have a cheeky puke. You don't have a pre-dinner puke. That's wild. No, don't do that. It's bad for you.
Please don't do that.
Yeah. So I'm Scratch Me Silly everywhere. I play video games mostly. I shitpost a lot on Twitter. My Twitter is very 18 plus. Not necessarily for retweets, but my like section gets a little
horny.
Horny
with a 0 instead of an O.
Yeah. If you're not 18, don't listen to this podcast.
Yeah, this I always mark it on YouTube. Yeah. But this is an 18 plus podcast.
Yeah, I say the F word a lot on all my Twitch streams too.
And I say a lot of naughty words just in general. We both do. We have potty mouths.
We're Canadian.
That's just what happened. We're Canadian. We're from Montreal, and
it's 2020.
It's 2020. We're gonna say some swears, but yeah, thank you guys for listening. Hope you guys have a good evening. Remember to wear your mask when you go outside. and not to get unreasonably mad at the people serving you in essential spaces. Thank you very
They
much,
are not paid
and
enough.
have yourselves a good evening. They are not paid enough to put up with your bullshit.
Yeah.
And resist the urge to go out to restaurants, please.
Oh God, just
Order out instead, folks.
Uber Eats exist.
Yeah, Uber Eats exists, and you can just buy a beer at the corner store and drink that.
It's just as good,
instead
I
of going to a
promise.
bar.
There's actually beer
Uh-huh.
stores where they sell the better beers that even bars don't have, so you can go to one of those.
Exactly. Did you know that you can get good craft beer at certain places?
Trust me, I'm
You
an
can.
alcoholic.
No, the word's connoisseur. But
Good shit.
thank you very much for listening, everybody. Have a good evening.
Oh God, where's the stop button?